Hello, I'm Taj, digitally known as Tropic Vibes, the host of Nifty Business, where we highlight NFTs and explore Web 3.0 as we move from pure speculation to creating real-world value. So a lot of people right now are tight with their budget, and whether it is that your liquidity is dried up or you're someone who's new into the space and you're just fearful as to getting into the space, there is some good news. There are legitimate ways to get free NFTs, and I'm not talking about those influencers that say, follow me and I'm going to give away $1 million or some Bored Apes or anything of that nature. I'm speaking about legitimate NFT projects that have already sold out, and through the project itself that you're going to get those free NFTs, not through some random influencer online. And this sort of information will come in handy for someone who is just trying to explore different communities, see what's out there, and maybe you already have some NFTs and you don't want to sell the ones that you already have in order to get some liquidity. Or, as I said, you're someone who is just trying to get into the space and get your feet wet. Either category that you're in, this will benefit you. So, of course, the most easy way to get a free NFT is simply in the Discord. There's always giveaways that are going on, and just going to the Discord and just doing one of those random drawings, that is one way, and that is obviously no secret. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Most projects will have some sort of channel where there's some giveaways, and a lot of the times those are for whitelist spots, but many times they are also for NFTs. And this is usually good for, especially for projects that just need to bring in some new blood, get some engagement going. They'll normally give away some NFTs without charging, and they usually have some sort of challenge or something that you have to do to engage into the community to really show that these are the people that you want to hang out with, and it is free. There's some sort of drawing, or they'll do something to incentivize people to just be interested in that particular community. The second way is to just show up at Twitter Spaces. Countless projects, for example, at Chibi Labs and many projects that I'm part of, they have these spaces and they do random drawings, and most of the time while you're in the space, you have to do something like a tweet or share a tweet. And the reason why they do that is because it is a random drawing. And the way the Twitter picker works is based upon liking or retweeting. So that is the reason why they do that a lot of the times. And at first I thought it was very annoying until I tried to do my own giveaways, and I realized that unless the people are retweeting, it is not going to count it. So when you're in those spaces and they're saying and retweet that, yes, sure, it does help to share and promote that particular space. However, when they're doing this, it's setting it up for that Twitter picker to be able to give out. Another thing that some projects do is they'll do something like a banner contest. The Bulls and Apes project just recently did this, and they had a space where people would do their banners and then show up, and then whoever won that would get NFTs, or in many cases, they'll get tokens or something, a pass or a ticket for an event. That is how a lot of projects do this. And it's not just always banners. Sometimes it is fan art. It could be a storyline. I know for Scary Sharks on Solana, they had a poetry contest and the community voted on that. And just in order to see which one wrote a love poem for one of these sharks, and whoever they liked better got the top 3, I believe it was, there were prizes for, and NFTs were included, and Solana was also included. So things like that is just low-hanging fruit, fun, and engages the community. Then there's content contests, which, for example, the 3D projects, the ones I could think of off the top of my head, going back to the Chibis, of course, and the Void community, they had a dancing contest because these are 3D NFTs. And if you see my Chibi dancing around, or any of the Chibis for that matter, or the Voids doing the Thriller dance and all sorts of different things, you can create those content because these are fully rigged 3D avatars that you can port into these programs to get them to dance the songs and do all sorts of things. And you can, if you're very skilled, you can actually animate the whole thing, put backgrounds. You could literally do whatever you want with them. So they have these contests that basically they incentivize the community to use these 3D assets, go out there, create some content, and put it out there. And here's the cool thing. And sometimes they even have a community one that they have out there that they can allow you to either make some content with, or whatever it is, whether it is the camera lens filter, so basically you can speak and use the face of that avatar, or it's the full body avatar. They allow you to use the community one. You just log into their Discord or whatever, and they normally have the file up there. You can just use that and you can enter the contest, and that requires no money whatsoever. And if you make some good content, it benefits the community. So of course they're going to reward you by giving you one of them, or whatever the prize is, you can still enter that. Another thing that a lot of projects have, they have these fantasy football leagues or sports tournaments. So this could be March Madness, it could be NBA or the NHL playoffs, anything of that matter. And a lot of times it is open to the community. It's not just the specific holders of those NFTs. They'll do it when they try to bring in other communities. They'll open it up to, let's say you have another NFT and another project that they have a partnership with. They'll invite those people in as well, or sometimes it is just open to the general public and you can go in there, and if you're good at fantasy sports, picking teams, whatever it might be, or just want to try your luck, just randomly pick different ones, then you could possibly get in there and you can get an NFT as well. Another thing that I've seen, which is pretty cool, I just took part in this and I came in 32nd of 35, so I did absolutely horrible. But there's poker nights, and in poker nights, the winner, or sometimes as many as the top 3, 4, 5, will get some sort of either NFT or crypto or some other prize. You know, some cool things. You might be entered into a raffle if you get one of the lower ones, but usually top 3 will get crypto and NFTs. And if this is a community thing, then it will be for that specific community, or it might be open to multiple communities and you end up getting a pot. Maybe there's 4 or 5 communities taking place. Just like the other day, I played in a women-led PFP, or a female PFP poker tournament. That's a lot of P's and F's. But the top prize was a Tribex and 90s babes, and it was probably about 5 or 6 different ones if you won that. But like I said, I came in 32nd, so I was nowhere near that. Listening to or watching content, that is another way, because some of these projects are putting out their own content, such as this. For example, the NFT 365, the whole project with Brian Fanzo, everything that they were doing right there, they used to have this thing called a proof of podcast. And of course, that just sounds like, you know, a POAP, the proof of attendance protocol. But with this, you actually participating, you're listening, they would ask you a quiz, you go to the website, fill out the information, and then you would get a particular NFT. And if you collect a certain amount of NFTs, there's some utility to that. I'm not exactly sure what that was again, but you know, that is just one way to get into a community that has NFTs, but also just by listening to content or watching content, because there's other versions of this where they'll do a various contests. Let's say you collect X amount of POAPs for the month, or you attend these spaces for, you know, 4 in a row and you collect a certain amount of things, then you'll end up getting a NFT or whatever. So some cool things are out there, and just by participating, spending time with that project, consuming their content, hanging out with them in spaces, whatever it might be, you can get free NFTs. This one's sort of a little bit out there, but you can offer your services. So let's say you're good at marketing, building websites or content, anything of that nature. A lot of these smaller projects don't have the ETH or the funds to be able to do that. Not to mention that they don't have the accounting department to say that they have multiple people and employees and contractors that they're paying, because that could be a nightmare with taxes itself. So they much rather just give out NFTs. They'll pay you in NFTs. So let's say there is a particular project that might want $1,000 worth of work, and they have an NFT up for $1,500, and it just works out better for them. And in that sense, let's say you really wanted that particular NFT, it even works out better for you, because you're going to end up getting a little bit more than the cash value of what you wanted the service for, and you end up with that NFT. So just interesting ways of doing different things. If something comes easy to you that they happen to value, it might only take you 20, 30 minutes, but for whatever reason, it's something that they desperately need and they can't afford to hire someone. Maybe it's a high price thing like a coder or something. You're able to fix a couple lines in their code and they'll give you an NFT for it. Just amazing stuff. 90s Babes. Okay, this is another one which is based upon holding. Now, they have talent shows, and for winning talent shows, there's different things. And however, with other projects, I've seen they open it up to the community itself, or they open it up to other communities that they partner with and what have you. And of course, the winning prize in a lot of these ends up getting some NFTs. So if you sing, dance, whatever your talent might be, and you think you can go up there and share it with various communities, just go online and maybe show up on a Zoom call or in a Discord, whatever it is, wherever this event is being held, you could possibly win and get some NFTs for that. And of course, once you're in these communities, assuming that you already own some NFTs and you are seeking for ways to get some more and you just don't have the funds, and maybe you just don't want to invest anymore in this market, you don't know exactly where it's going to go. Another way is just following what's going on in that particular project, because they'll give different incentives. Maybe that is just using the profile picture for a period of time or having a banner up with it. It all depends. You could hold for an extended period of time and not list on the floor, and they might end up giving you some. They'll airdrop you either NFTs or tokens. there's just many incentives out there, and it's really left up to the creativity of the community and the projects of how they're going to incentivize their holders. So that says they're excited to be there. They're going to be there for the long run. And a lot of times people only have one or two NFTs. Most people don't have a massive bag of all these different things, especially when they're first entering the space. So these incentives is low-hanging fruit for a lot of people. They might only have two NFTs, and if they're telling them that if they use that as their profile picture and they keep it up there for the month or whatever, they'll have the ability to get some more NFTs for free. That is easy, low-hanging fruit for a lot of people. So that's just one thing to check out. But I just went through this list really quick. That was 10, believe it or not, and all the different things. Most of them you don't need any NFTs whatsoever or any funds. You just need to be able to interact with people. And this doesn't require you to do any of that scammy, spammy stuff, no following, liking, retweeting, and tagging 50 million friends and then giving out your wallet address and your email, all these different things all at once to just possibly maybe be one of the 7,000 people that did all these things to get a random drawing. And let's be honest, how many people are giving away Bored Apes? I don't really think very many in this day and age, simply because most of the people that are giving them away, first of all, either they don't have that as their profile picture, or 99.99999% of the time, they do not have one of those verified NFT Twitter pictures. So you don't even know if this is a person that actually owns them. And I think they're just doing it to get followers, clicks, engagement, and so forth. So they'll catch the attention of Twitter's algorithm so that they can get more followers and all that fun stuff. However, these things that I listed are legitimate ways that you can get more NFTs, and you don't have to further extend yourself, spend any more money, maybe tie up some of your funds in all these illiquid assets, meaning that they're not easy to sell and just move very quickly unless you're going to throw them on the floor. So again, hopefully this was helpful to you, whether you just have liquidity problems or you are just trying to come into the space and you're a little bit hesitant as to being able to pour some money into this space and you just want to test the waters first. So which of these do you find most interesting? I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Feel free to reach out to me at Tropic Vibes on Twitter if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you have any other ideas that are on this. But these are the 10 that I come across the most frequently. And I know in the last one I kind of cheated a little bit with incentives because I probably threw in a little bit more than 10 in this list. But it's all good. There's so many different ways to get NFTs, legitimate ways. Love to hear your thoughts. As usual, I want to thank you for taking time to listen to this as we're learning and building Web3 together. So until next time, later. The Nifty Business Show is not investment advice. It provides insights and information within the space. As with anything, please do your own research before making a decision whether you're making an investment or a purchase.